And we are back on this Friday morning. Okay, you've already met Charlotte Christian this morning with, of course, Totten & Christian Law Firm here in Athens, Alabama. Charlotte, how are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. You know what? When you talk about attorneys, you know, sometimes you cringe, but because you never know what area you need it in. But you know what? Everyone has got to have an attorney these days.
Well,
that's good for you.
That's true. That's true. There's many areas which you need an attorney.
There is. Now, let's talk about your firm for just a moment. First of all, you've been practicing law for how long?
I've been practicing here since 1999.
Okay. You're a lifelong resident, Alabama.
An Alabama resident, that's
okay.
correct.
Your partner is John Totten.
He is, yes.
Now,
John's from Clements. He's been here his entire life.
So a lot of y'all must know John, too.
Most people know the Tottens.
Yeah. Your office is located where?
We're on the square. We're on the east side of the square.
Okay.
We tell people we have a red awning. It's 105 South Marion Street.
Easy to find if you've been downtown Huntsville. If you've not been downtown Huntsville, it's definitely easy to find. Okay, Athens. Listen to me, I just moved to Athens.
That's okay.
If you're in Athens on the square, you can definitely find them. All right, let's talk about the areas of practice that the whole firm, that you and John both have.
John and I do. We'll try to help people get them in the right place, even if we don't practice the type of law that they need. But we primarily do automobile accidents, personal injury.
Okay.
We do a real estate practice. I do most of the closings. I do a lot of closings. I personally do divorce. John does some divorce. John does a lot of criminal work, DUI, and that sort of thing. But as I said, if it's something that you don't think we practice, give us a call and we'll be glad to get you in the right place with a person that we know is qualified to care for you.
And I think that's important too, because first of all, you're being honest about, well, I may not handle all practices, you know, because there's some attorneys that just do certain things and that's what they specialize in. But if they need a good referral, that's important too. So you want to make sure you contact a good firm. That way you get in the right hands, bottom line. Now, John handles DUIs and automobile accidents.
Correct, and personal injury.
Personal injury. I do want to say this on just a personal thing that happened, someone that we know or heard of, rather. If you are arrested for DUI, unfortunately that does happen. Be sure that you contact an attorney, because I know of a young man that recently went to court and the judge said, how do you plead? And he's like, well, guilty, because he was guilty. And chances, you know, he's like, I'm just going to come up here and take my punishment. Well, the judge was very nice and said, I want you to come back in 30 or 60 days, however it was, and bring an attorney, contact an attorney, because you have different ways that you can protect some of your rights and it maybe not be so harsh on you. So definitely contact an attorney on that. Now, divorces. That's what you specialize in.
It is. I do divorces, yes.
The divorce rate is amazing. Sometimes you hear people say, oh, we're going to have a nice, friendly divorce. You always want to make sure there's an attorney involved.
That's right. As an attorney, I can only represent one party. So if you go to an attorney that's going to represent you both, that attorney can only represent you and your interest, or your spouse and their interest. So absolutely you need your interest protected. There's so many things that are intricate in a divorce or in a situation that has to do with family matters that you just need somebody's advice to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of, or make sure that down the future, you know, down the road, that you're going to be taken care of.
With the divorce rate so high, and sometimes, you know, when you're going through a divorce, you're not thinking clearly, or emotions are way up here or way down here. So you want to make sure that whatever you agree on, you have to live by that, especially if you have children involved.
Absolutely. The standard, once you have a divorce decree signed, the standard becomes different. Then it's really hard to go back and change that. So you want to make sure that all your ducks in a row are in a row, and you make sure that you know what you're doing from the very beginning, that you're protected.
Boy, that is the best advice that we can give you this morning, because we all know, we joke up here all the time about, you know, Jamie being married numerous times. But I have to tell you, he was very, I'm going to say, not so smart at all in agreeing to sign just what an ex-wife had drawn up. I'm getting personal. He screwed up royally. He just agreed to sign what she wanted, and that's cost him.
Anything to get rid of them.
Well, anything to get rid of them, you think at the time, but they're going to come back and hound you forever, especially if that first decree is just terrible. So make sure your rights are protected.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's good advice. Taking new clients?
We are, yes.
All the time. All they have to do is call and make an appointment?
That's right.
All right. Well, good. It's so good. And you guys return phone calls within 24 hours.
We do. We definitely try.
I do want to tell you who's who in Athens and Limestone County. Of course, Sheriff Mike Blakely was on the cover, but you can read all about Charlotte and John Totten in here as well. Give us a call if you have any questions. We're going to take a break. Charlotte, great to have you here with us this morning. We'll be back right after this.